Oh my gosh, spooky action at a distance. Yeah. Where is this? Right over here from Brian Lightfoot. Why isn't that refreshing right here? Here it comes. Brian Lightfoot. One of those guys in the trailer looked like Tim Sal on his e-bike. Just
Speaker bot is alive.
Not 2 minutes
Speaker bot is alive.
prior to him saying that, I was thinking that I think very
DougBot said,
similar.
"Hi, how you
What
doing?"
would it be like with a e-bike doing that hill climb? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the trailer. There's a link in the description. What would it be like an electric cycle? I can't call it a motorcycle. Well, it's electric motorcycle, I guess so. Climbing up that hill, that just would not be satisfying, I don't think. But yeah, I was right there with you, Brian. Yeah. So I heard audio confirmation for myself. I heard a speaker bot in my ear, but I didn't get to check and see if that was over the video. So
Yes,
I'm checking
sir,
now.
Bob.
Yes, that is working. All right. I have topics brought up in comments and emails to go address. Let's come over here to comments. And these three, I'm gonna hit the video link button, and I'm gonna hit them all with the same reply, because all three of these are pretty similar in nature and really, really fun and nice to see. So I'll get a link in there, put these all at the same timestamp because I'm addressing these together as a group. Ellie Rice says, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I hated the so-called new email. I complained every day. You made it so simple. I got it switched back to the old best version right away. You are amazing. And again, I thank you so much." Well, you're certainly welcome. Hang on, stay with me for a little bit, Ellie. And then the Olenado. Number 6 was the magical for me, your true hero, and that was on the File Explorer green loading bar fix. And then here, Veritas, also on the Yahoo. Thank you, my friend. I've been having a hard time with this new version. I could not tell one email from the other, and I kept on missing important emails. You're a master, a sensei. Thank you so much, all three of you. Very kind words. I want you to know that myself and the people in the chat room are here almost 6 days a week, usually 6 days a week. Sometimes I miss, but to respond to your questions. If you have any question, issue you're having with your computer, you do not have to be a regular viewer on my channel. You do not have to be a subscriber. You can ask a question. You can send it by email, or you can put a comment on any of my videos. Myself in the chat room, we will do our best to give you an answer or respond to your question to help you help move you along with the issue. Okay, so I'm going to hit the reply on all three of those because I know I got the timestamp correct on them. And then let's see, here we have negative, oops, hit the button first, Doug. Okay, then I'll do the thumbs up and the heart. I'll get reply and paste the timestamp. Negative Edge says, mine doesn't power up at all. It was working for a while, but recently it doesn't get power. This was on the video about the AverMedia capture card. I have an internal capture card. Well, Negative Edge is saying his doesn't power up. So I'm suspecting that he's dealing with an external device, such as perhaps something like this. Your power is coming from one of these USB ports. So maybe the power source that you're connecting to isn't strong enough. You can't use just any old power adapter that you plug into an outlet. It has to be of sufficient voltage and amperage to power it. Maybe there's a problem with your cable. Maybe it's a problem with the actual device. If the device is still under warranty, do a warranty claim on it rather than spending a whole lot of time trying to troubleshoot it. But if it's just a question of the power that you're supplying to it and how you're supplying that power, that might be the only issue that you have going on. When you plug it into your power source, is there some kind of light on the device to indicate that you have power? Try it with a different computer. So those are just some troubleshooting approaches for that off the top of my head. If you want to reply to my reply, that will come to my attention, or you can send an email to the address that's on the screen right now. Pause the video right here so you have time to copy that down. And what else do I need to say on that? Mine doesn't power up at all. It was working for a while, but recently doesn't get power. What changed? What's different? I'm most inclined to suspect that there's something wrong with how you're supplying power to it. It's just not enough power. If you're supplying power off of a USB port from your computer, not all USB ports are created equal. USB port outlets on your computer, they share a USB header on the motherboard. So if you have something else plugged into the sister, the sibling USB port, you might be splitting the power. So that might be a problem. Try a different USB port on your computer. If I don't know if those devices get enough power from a USB port to begin with, but consider that. So if you have any other follow-up, we're eager to hear back from you, Negative Edge. So click that reply. And then Chevy, who's a regular around here, is Chevy in chat today? I'll come over here to chat, Control F, CHEVY. And yeah, Chevy is here and earning some points, I see. And what did I see here? Oh, Charlie Purdy, showing that he's a member for 4 months. And thank you. We started the membership December 26, 2024. So I think that is 4 months. Yeah, you haven't reached the 5th month yet. So I think the 5th month is going to show up when we get to the 26th of the month. Now, what Chevy says over here, whoops. See here, I was missing it again. Hit the button, click the thumbs up, click the heart, click reply, Control V, paste. And then Chevy says, fanboy Chevy's request on Wednesday, yesterday, discuss secure boot. Show chat example how to switch from secure boot state off to secure boot state on. I contemplated setting this up for today's stream, but it was going to take some manipulations to do, and I wanted to draw back on this a little bit. I don't know why Chevy is asking this question. Is it just for a topic to discuss, as if I don't have enough things to talk about? That's possible. And maybe he's got a specific question, maybe not. If you do have a specific question, then ask that. But what I did come up here just for today's show is to point out, turn to an AI. They're really, really useful because you can drill down and get some specific information. Each time I want to discuss secure boot, I probably have to go kind of review and sharpen up on a little bit. But here I'm just asking AI, tell me about secure boot. So it says these kind of things here. Can you disable secure boot and tell some information about doing? And then I asked a follow-up question. Can you give me examples of unsigned drivers where you would have to disable secure boot? Why would you want to disable it? Here are some possibilities of why you might want to disable it. Now you do have to enable it in order to install Windows 11 or to upgrade to Windows 11. But you can ask follow-up questions here in an AI and get very specific answers. Then, is there anything else I want to hit on that? Now, it occurred to me that maybe Chevy was asking this because I recently made a comment. I don't remember when or where or the context, but I made a comment that I don't get enough questions. Well, let me qualify that. I should have qualified it back then. I don't get enough questions from people having actual troubles with their computer right now. So a question about a general topic. Hey, Doug, here's a question. Talk about this. Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for questions from people having specific issues. So thank you, especially for the fanboy comment. I love that. Made my day with that. And these other 3 back here made my day, certainly maybe my week. This one, not so much. This one did not make my day. This one stung a little bit, but maybe it shouldn't sting a little bit. This was in response, whoops. Wait a minute. I got to hit the button, do a thumbs up, do a heart, click reply, paste that. Yeah, this one stung a little bit at first, but then I had to think it through a little bit. This was from the video lost contacts and new outlook. Here's how to get them back. It says, waste of my time. Yeah, that kind of comment kind of stings a little bit, but let's talk about making this not so much of a waste, maybe make it useful for you. Henrik, I don't know if you're responding to this specific title, if that's what you consider a waste of time, because you're actually having a problem, which I want people asking questions there. You're actually having a problem and you thought this video would solve your problem. At the beginning of that video, I tell people, if you came to this video because of the title and you're only interested in that, then go read the description, because there's always more information in the description on the style of video that I was doing back then when they're actually named for a specific subject. I don't know if you did that. If you did, you probably would have found that that wasn't going to address your specific issue, because obviously, I guess it didn't if you're called that a waste of your time. Maybe the waste of the time was you just don't like my presentation style. You don't like the color of my shirts. I don't know what you were complaining about, but I'm more inclined to think that you're probably speaking out of frustration. This was just 4 hours ago, just not too long before the show started. So I'm thinking that maybe you're actually having a problem with your computer right now. You've been searching through YouTube, searching through Google, whatever search engine you use, trying to find the solution. And you came and watched that video and it didn't give you your solution. Now you're just frustrated and upset and you just lash out by putting in a comment like that. But what we can do here, Henrik, what this channel is all about is responding to people's actual issues that they're having. So if you can give me more specifics, we will follow up with you, even if it takes multiple days trying to find it. On occasion, I've actually connected remotely to somebody's computer during a live stream, bring them in on Zoom so that we can work through whatever difficulty that you're having. Because this sounds to me like a level of frustration that I have been there. I know that feeling, and you're among friendly people here. So if we can be of help with you, just respond to that, reply to my reply to you, or send an email to here, this email address with more information. You can send screenshots, you can give more information, and we will bring all our resources to bear to try to help you with that. All right, there you go. Henrik, best wishes. I hope you, maybe you've already got it solved. If so, hey, great, glad to know it. And maybe keep track of this channel so that you can come back and ask a question. You do not have to be a regular viewer here. You do not have to be a subscriber. You do not have to do super chats to ask questions. All right, so that is all of those. Okay, did that. I'm not going to make you watch me scroll through that because I know it makes some of you dizzy. Yeah, you haven't actually said that. Get that one. Yeah, there was two at the bottom that I'm still holding on to, both from Greg M, for future conversations. Now in emails, I have some things to respond to. I have an email here from Kerry Holzman. He responded to something we talked about a day or two ago. I'm not sure when. I'm not going to bring the email up on screen because he also covers some subject matter that we're not ready to make public yet. And, oh, actually I can't. I can scroll this down enough. Yeah, I can show this here. It says, also recently on your show, someone asked if data recovery from a soldered on SSD, like a tablet or Apple Mac, or like a very inexpensive Windows computer that has soldered storage media. If it's possible, I posed this question to Brian Cometa at $300 data recovery, and this is his reply. $300 data recovery, I've used them several times on behalf of clients who did not, typically new clients, that didn't have their backup strategy in place. So this is awesome that Kerry took the time to go ask him. Sometimes we can use a tool like Disk Drill to boot the computer. Then we can scan, move the data. So they're booting the computer on a special software tool that allows them to scan and move the data on soldered in storage. If there is minor logic board damage, Nathan, my new and former employee, who was my first hire and now works for me again, that's got to be satisfying. He came back. Well, maybe for satisfying for Brian, maybe Nathan's whatever adventure he went on did not work out. But anyway, he can sometimes repair it and recover the data. If the logic board is faulty, we collaborate with Mac logic board repair specialists, currently Louis Rossman, I know Louis, to recover the data. Although their costs are higher than ours, we have negotiated favorable rates with them, often making it more cost effective than if the customer were to approach them directly. We obtain customer approval of the price and do not conceal that we are sending it to a third party when necessary. Awesome, awesome. That is great to know. I know Bryden is a very stand-up person in the way that he operates his business and the ethics that he employs. So that is awesome to get that response back. Now then, let's go to, how are we doing on time? Oh, good. Only halfway through. John Downey has a question by email. Checking over to be sure I'm not exposing things here. Yeah, we look good there. See if I can zoom up one more level. John Downey, who's a regular in our community. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to take that back off because I didn't do a reply and I forgot to do a reply on cares. But this is, well, John's in chat, right? Isn't he? Is he? Because I don't need to send. It's not like hey, it's not like other people seeing the comment. It looks like it's there, but it's not. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna give him a link. Okay, now here we go. So the link is in play. John Downey says, at a church meeting, we were discussing whether we need a third-party antivirus on your PC. Your church does not need any antivirus protection on my PC. No, I take care of my PC. Okay, that's not what he meant. I know. But we need a third-party antivirus on the church's PC, I suppose. We are paying for Norton antivirus. Not a fan. My feeling was that Windows provided this protection based on comments from various MSP YouTube channels. Yes, it does. An IT project manager for a large business who was at the meeting felt there should be third-party virus protection. Can you discuss this on your YouTube channel? This is an excellent focusing on the comment and who is saying this. A large IT project manager for a large business. There are some things we don't know about this person, but before we get to that, let's say there are places in the corporate environment, large IT environments, where there are features, functionalities that are capable from the third-party antivirus vendors that are very much worth it. However, Microsoft also offers paid products at the enterprise level and does a very, very good job of it. Very competitive with the others. At the consumer level, which is I suspect what we should be thinking of for the church, for the church office, is a consumer level product. The biggest reason why, I don't know how many we're going to go through. The biggest reasons why I don't like third-party antivirus products for end users is they typically get them on the trial period. And then when the trial expires, the person actually using the computer just dismisses the message and doesn't address it at all. And it may not fully revert back to the Windows antivirus if that other product is still installed. Second reason is because they typically have a lot of extra load that they put on your computer because they have a lot of features that can be useful, but only if you actually implement those features. You have to do some work, some effort, some education. There's a learning curve to how to implement those extra features if you care about them. But they are beyond the level of protecting your computer from viruses and and malware. There are lots of studies out there and reports about comparing different antivirus products, and Windows Defender is right in there in the mix. You can find some of them that'll put other third-party products above Windows Defender. You'll find ones that put Windows Defender up higher. Kind of depends upon who created the metrics for measuring the performance, what they might have had an ulterior motive, who was funding it. So I absolutely am 100% Windows Defender for all of my small business offices. I haven't seen any argument that gives me any pause to consider a different product. You can find an isolated vulnerability here and there that you could say, see, on this one, this product did better, but now you're picking and choosing, and you can manipulate any performance statistics to make whatever product that you want to come out on top. You can make that happen if you want it. So I don't know if you have any shot, John, at persuading them otherwise, but those are some thoughts. Now here's another one. I'll get to that one in a moment, John Williams. Here's another one. When I mentioned that we don't know who this person is, he's an IT project manager. That does not automatically mean he is an expert on what is the best way to protect a computer in small office environment. Large IT project manager, that's an entirely different arena. That's a different skill set. That's a different education. That's a different, it's a different set of priorities. The IT department is configuring the third-party antivirus product the way they want it to work in their enterprise environment. Just because it's good for them does not mean it's good in the small office environment. So there's my response, John Danny. I hope that is somehow useful to you. And I'm hitting wrong buttons all over the place. And then send that email. Now let's get to that read chat message from another John. Let's see what. John Williams. Doug, do you have Malwarebytes on any of your clients' PCs? No, not currently, and I find no reason for it. I come across content creators once in a while and people participating in chat rooms that claim Windows Defender does not protect against malware. That absolutely is not true. Let's go into Defender, and the performance reports are out there that affirms this. And Windows Defender also does heuristics. Now let's go over here into, let's see, I think I'm going to go to threat protection, virus and threat protection. See, virus is one kind of threat. There are other threats, such as malware. Let's see if I'm going to get into the right place here. Real-time automatic sample solution, tamper protection, controlled folder access. That's a way that you can ramp up to a higher level of protection, Windows Defender, if you want to. Let's see, virus and threat protection. There's some place in here, and every time I go looking for it, where I have a little difficulty finding it. You can submit samples, but what I'm looking for is where they actually use the word malware. Controlled folder access, it's not that one. So where is it? Am I going to find it? Allowed threats. Allowed threats. Yeah, that's a thing. You might allow some threats. Virus and threat protection updates, ransomware protection, malware. Where is it? Okay, where can I get a good, quick response on this? Let's ask, where can I find malware protection verbiage in Windows Defender on Windows 11? Microsoft, you find information malware now called Microsoft Defender antivirus settings, privacy and secure, Windows security, virus threat and protection, real-time protection, ransom details on, real-time protection, ransomware protection, scanning options. And then, let's see, I think I was already down that road. Give me reports about Windows malware protection capabilities with links. So if you want to take some documentation, you can find it in here. Now, Endpoint, that's the paid product. Capabilities, Windows Defender. Windows Defender is what we have on end user computers. I don't see links there. Oh, this is clickable, so that is a link. What do we have here? I took that off real quick because it looked like it might be going into my account. I'm studying the capabilities of Microsoft Defender pre-installed personal laptops. Curious to know if Defender provides sandbox protection, heuristics analysis, behavioral detection by default. How effectively does it safeguard personal laptops? Yes, Defender provides sandbox protection, heuristic analysis, behavioral detection, because that's one thing that I hear people saying it doesn't. It does. It does. It does. All right. So anyway, that gives you some ideas where to go down those roads. Now, coming back to see what else I have another one from John Downey. And let's see, scroll this around right. Yes. John Downey, another email. Look, I should give him a link. Oh, what happened there? There. Okay. Here's a new link. From John Downey. This is an excellent deal for your listeners. Now I got to tell you what the subject line was. Instant house call deal is what he said. I'm pretty sure that Kerry included this on his channel too. This is an excellent deal for your listeners. Instant house call for $7 for the first year. Mike Smith is an MSP in Philadelphia and Tampa. I know him. I know Mike. I have actually hired him. I hired him to work on a project with me for one of my clients. Additionally, he has a YouTube channel. Yes, I know. He publishes every Thursday, and he does his live stream. I think still on Twitch. He might be doing. I don't think he's doing the live on YouTube. The Mike Tech Show and broadcast live on Twitch every Thursday night. At one time, Mike and Kerry had a YouTube channel together called TechVets. It wasn't a separate channel. It was on Kerry's channel.
Read chat,
please. Video series called TechVets. I don't think they had it as a separate channel. I will answer that in a moment, Martin. So then here is Mike Smith's website and the Instant House Call $7 offer. I had Instant House Call for a couple of years. I paid for it for a couple of years. I started near the beginning of COVID, particularly because they had an offering where you could resell sub-accounts. You could provide sub-accounts to your clients. I could provide sub-accounts to my clients who are wanting to do more remote work so that they didn't have to commit to the long term of some other paid remote connection product, and they didn't have to subject themselves to the possible vulnerabilities of a free remote software account, remote connection account. I had both my LogMe and Rescue and Instant House Call running on Baby Beast, and I tried it several times during the show. It was troublesome. It was problematic. I didn't care for it so much. I don't really like the user interface. It costs less money. I do not recommend LogMe and Rescue. It's way too expensive for most people. But because I have had it for many, many years, and the financial cost of it is justifiable in the scope of my business, I wound up letting go of Instant House Call. And because of the performance issues. Now, the performance issues might not have been the fault of Instant House Call. It could have been a complication due to the fact that I was running Instant House Call and LogMe and Rescue on the same computer. So it totally could have been my fault and not a problem with instant house call at all. I have no problem, no hesitation recommending somebody try out instant house call. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, John Downey. Let's see, send that. And then get to that recent, I think it was Martin did a read chat, Control F, exclamation C to find it. Doug, lots of us still have the number 2 showing for several months. When does it increase? I will show you that. And Ken Stout recently pointed out to me why those numbers aren't increasing. I thought it was because of something I did wrong. No, it was not. So I'm going to come over here to show you where I go. I think that, I hope I'm going to get this right. I think that's under earn for finding memberships. And then membership offer, let's see, resources, links to share, supers and gifts. No, where is it? Basically, the bottom line is that YouTube defines what monthly increment, oh, here it is, levels, badges, and emoji. If I click edit here, you can see they have a category for 1 month, for 2 months, and then for 6 months. So it's not going to change until you hit 6 months. I have no control over that. I cannot, I would have rather have had each increment along the way, because you see what I've done, 0, 1, 2, 6, 12, and 24. Between 12 and 24, there's nothing you can do. I was thinking, should I do 12 plus to indicate you're over 12 months? And that's just going to make everything smaller in there. So that's why. That's the answer for that, Martin. Now, I'm going to take a moment over here. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong button. I almost said I keep hating the wrong button. Kind of same difference, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to see if I had any others to respond to. I had one. Oh yes, I had one for me. DisplayPort, I mentioned that yesterday about this being able to buy a device that you can connect to your DisplayPort outlet, and then it has up to three DisplayPort outputs. I think you can get more, so that you can plug separate monitors in them. Now that's not for duplicating display. It can be for duplicating displays, but it can be for extended, so that each display has its own content. And so I went and had a conversation with Gemini. I'm currently using 3 AIs, Copilot, Gemini, and ChatGPT. And they have their upsides and downsides. Am I correct to understand that DisplayPort can output up to 3 monitors for each DisplayPort? And it goes into some conversation. I'm not going to read through all of this. Here's its response. And then its response here triggered a follow-up question from me. Is there a way to determine the DisplayPort version on a particular computer through Device Manager and MS Info 32 or some other method that can be utilized? Basically, in short, the answer is no. You can only get the information from the specifications of the equipment manufacturer. That sucks. There ought to be some kind of a tool so you can get information about what DisplayPort version your computer has. And then I said, how about graphics benchmarking utilities or CPU-Z? Will they show version numbers? The answer is no, they don't, with kind of a long explanation here. And then I get to, how about purchasing a DisplayPort hub device with maximum number of ports available for any DisplayPort version, then insert headless video plugs, because I don't want to buy all those monitors. I could buy a whole bunch of these DisplayPort header plugs so that the computer thinks there's display monitors out there. Will that work? And the AI kind of answers, yeah, thinks that will work. However, it might not work very well, and you may not be able to really get your answer because there is capacity limitations for the DisplayPort. And you might be able to get an image through, but how well is the frame rate? How well is the resolution when you actually have active things happening on each of those monitors. It's the amount of stuff going through the cable. You might be able to get a static image showing up on way more monitors than what your system is technically approved for or capable of or documented for or supported for. So that was an interesting rabbit hole. It kind of goes on longer and longer and more follow-up questions and longer, and that's the end of it. Okay, now taking this back down, and I'm going to scroll through this way looking for orange because we are a little bit into overtime. There's some conversations in there about the trailer. Brian, old minds think alike. That was about Tim Sal's e-bike. Oh, it's just what I imagine seeing e-bikes. You know, they have as much torque and they have as much power as gasoline, we're told. But what kind of size is that battery going to have to be in order to provide that level of torque and power? I don't know. I don't think weight is a problem with those motorcycles going up that hill, because I think they want them to be heavy. Oh, but hey, if you go to the link in today's video, this video, to that trailer, there is a link in the description of that trailer that'll take you to the original content. If you're at all entertained by that, I highly recommend you go watch the whole thing, because I cut it down a lot. There's a whole lot of very, very entertaining content in that source video. Okay. Hey, when Stormy just came on, is that lightning sound? That thunder? Lightning doesn't make sound. Thunder makes sound. Was the thunder too loud? Does it drown me out? Give me a 1 in chat if it drowns me out. 0 in chat if it does not, and I will check into that. Looking for orange. John Downey is here. John Williams, hoping I'm having a good day. I am having a good day. John Downey says, thanks for your explanation. Alice to Ken Stout with a link. And no other. For those of you who don't know, if you see, Brian's got the icon for 3 months, but it says that he's member for, I think he typed that in. I don't think that's YouTube saying it. If you come down to, where is it? Is it the plus? Is it the $? Where you can, for no money, you don't have to pay anything. Oh, I'm not a member of my own channel, so I can't display this. But I think when you click on that $, there's an option in here where you can get a display how many months you have been a member other than this thing right here. I kind of like to see some of you demonstrate that and try it. Zeros, a bunch of zeros, people saying that was not too loud. The thunder was not too loud. If I'm remembering that wrong, you're going to have to tell me. I think the 0 is saying it's not too loud. Levels were right on target. Perfect. Specs on GPU integrator should tell what DisplayPort version it supports. Yeah, according to, if you can give any specifics on that or send me a screenshot. Oh, the specs. Yeah, it's always the specs. You're not finding this in Windows. And that was what the AI was saying. You have to go to the specs for your motherboard or your graphics card to find what DisplayPort version that it supports. That's the only place. And that's what I find disappointing, because that's, especially if I'm doing that remotely, which I've never needed to do. So this is just a theory. It's a pretend question. But yeah, you have to get it from the manufacturer's specs. Yeah, John Downey, member for 4 months. Am I right about it? Is it the $ symbol that you click on in order to find that option? It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Okay, Brian. All right, I think that'll do it for me. There's the email address if you want to send a question by email, or you can put a comment on any of my videos. And tomorrow, Friday, I'm planning a normal show, and I do have a redirect set up to go to Carrie Holzman. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later.
That's all, folks.
Read chat, please.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you dream. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply where tech support supreme. Where tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be